Alright, it has been a few weeks since I last filmed. I left off with removing the tile and I was ready to remove the mortar. I had to grind it off with an angle grinder. I did do that off camera, so I have a nice concrete floor here. It actually surprisingly was mostly level. The flooring from like the washer and dryer all the way to here in this section was higher than the rest of the floor. I sanded that down. You can kind of see how different it looks there versus over there. Because I was not about to self-level this whole floor for that little section there. Taking a grinder to this was so messy and time consuming. I even like tarped everything off and it still got everywhere. It was a big cleanup. Cleaning up was like, actually took up a lot of the time. But it was a very messy part of the process that I really couldn't even film it because you wouldn't even have been able to see anything, because within minutes, this room was cloudy as and it took me, I don't even know how many hours, maybe like a little less than 20 hours. It was the most time-consuming, longest part of this process so far. I had to wipe down the entire room, the walls, the ceiling, all of the slots on my wood panels here, and I had to take the TV off the wall and clean behind it. It was a mess. I also did paint the room. I painted it like a different shade of white on top of white. I have the flooring here, not all of it, just some of it. I opened up a few boxes and mixed them up and organized them by pattern. I am ready to lay the underlayment down and put the flooring in. I am going to vacuum the floor though one more time. And I also did take a sponge and some water and wipe the floor as well to get it as clean as I could. So now I'm going to vacuum it one more time and we'll get to installing the floor. I also did measure the width of the room and divide that by the width of the plank, and then took the remainder of that number because it wasn't a solid number. It was like 17.69 I think. So I took the remainder of that and multiplied it by the width of the plank. So my last plank that'll be over here should be about just under 5 inches of a width. So that's pretty good. I'll take that. So I can start with a full piece along the first wall, so yay. All right, I have the underlayment that I'm gonna lay down first. Then I have this tape here that goes with the underlayment to tape it together for a sealed tight finish. I have a floor installing kit here that comes with a tapping block, a pull bar, and a whole bunch of spacers. I also have blue painter's tape to tape them to the wall because I know they like to move around. And I have knee pads, and I actually have sandals on. You know what? I don't care. I'm wearing sandals. Socks with sandals is my go-to, and I don't feel like changing into sneakers unless my feet start to hurt. So I'm just gonna rock with the sandals for now. Alright, I've come to the first piece that I need to cut. I have it facing the opposite way as those ones. I'm going to measure it. Get my handy dandy speed square. Hopefully that's right. Take my utility knife and cut it. Alright, so I'm just going to take my speed square and a utility knife and cut it. Alright, I doubt that I cut it deep enough, but maybe I did. I'm going to try to snap it. Okay, I'm not really sure what to snap it on though. Oh, I'm not even, that is nowhere near being cut all the way through. Try to snap. Ooh! Oh, that was a up cut. Well, you know what? This piece will be going on the end, so that might be okay. I should have cut through a little bit more. Yeah, I don't really like that. Far away it looks fine, but I'm not sure what it looks like on camera. You can kind of see how rigid he is. This side will be going up against the wall though, and will be covered up by baseboard. So let's hope I cut this right. Oh, it's a little small. What the f? These things are a piece of shit. Alright, I'm having trouble. So now I'm gonna take this piece here that's left over from this piece and use it to start the next row. Okay, well, for some reason, this is going terribly wrong. I'm having trouble with every single piece. I even cut the camera and had to redo the first row because they weren't connecting. Then I get them connected and I try to connect another piece and they all come disconnected. So I'll come back when I fix them. I think I just wasn't tapping the block hard enough and I was too scared to damage the floor because I started tapping a lot harder and it seems to be working fine now. Let's continue. I'm stuck. Alright. Well, I'm probably going to be going at this for another 20 minutes with this piece, so I don't know what the problem is now. The floor just keeps shifting back, the spacers are not working. Alright guys, I'm just taking L's left and right today. So I pretty much just finished installing the second row of planks. And I get to the end here and the width of the last plank is only going to be like 4 inches, which is obviously really short, which means I'm going to have to take out the second row here and cut the end of the first piece. I didn't even think about that. So hopefully now that I know that, I won't make that mistake again. Alright, so I just messed up my first board cutting it. When I went to snap it, I didn't cut through far enough and it made it an uneven cut. So I have a couple of waste pieces and I just cut a new piece here now to start my next row. That's why we ordered 10% extra. Oh, this works out perfect! As long as I don't screw it up again. Guys, my pants are green, my socks are green from this underlayment. Okay, so as you can see, this spot here is like 8 inches long. This is actually one of my scrap pieces that got messed up. This is like a 12-inch piece and I needed like 8 inches, so I'm going to be cutting off 4 inches. Look at that math. Oh, my math teacher would be so proud of me. And this is the side that's going to be going up against the wall, so that's the side I'm going to cut. Perfect. That works out. So I'm gonna cut this piece, put it there, put the last piece here, and I'm gonna call it a day because it is almost, it's like 7:30 at night. I hate this utility knife. You use it once and the blade's already dull, and that was a brand new blade. I have to cut through this thing like 30 plus times to even get a line started. And then I went to snap it and it's waste. It snapped way too far over. Even though I clearly have a slice in it, it did not cut where I wanted it to, by like a whole inch. Now this piece is waste. Man, I almost was able to use a piece of scrap wood. Dang it, this thing is so dull. Tomorrow I'm either using a circular saw or a miter saw. Alright, so I'm gonna call it a night and I'll continue it tomorrow. Alright, it is the next day. I set up a miter saw in the garage and I just cut a piece to fit this small section here. Making good progress. I feel really far out of the frame. I don't like that. Coming in closer, y'all. There we go, that works. Whatever. Anyway, so I just cut the piece here, and I forgot to put my earplugs in when using the miter saw. Oh my god, it was so loud. Damn, I made that cut almost perfect. I just ordered spacers off of Amazon for like 30 bucks because this is just not working. These spacers keep slipping out under the wall and the flooring keeps going under. Literally after every single piece I'm readjusting it. It's slowing me down. So I'm going to call it quits for today for installing this. I'm at the end of underlayment anyway, so I'm going to clean up the side of the room, vacuum it, lay the underlayment down. And that'll be it for today, and then I'll start, hopefully tomorrow, once I get the spacers in, I can just start knocking out the flooring. Sorry if you can hear my dog barking in the background. He has the zoomies. So this is that tape that I now need to tape the seam here, and then along the edges against the wall. So that's what I'm gonna do now. Alright, so before I continue installing the flooring today, I just want to show you the setup that I have going on here. Alright, so we got this tight hallway here because all my stuff that was in that room is in the hallway. But these are the boxes of flooring. I was just cutting these open, maybe like 3 boxes at once. In the garage here, this is where I set up the miter saw. A table would be more convenient, but I don't have one right now. So I'm working on the floor, which it's not too bad, honestly. I spent like 30 bucks on these spacers. Look at that! So I'm not sure exactly. Oh, I think it goes like this. Oh yeah, so there's like a 1/2 inch spacer here and then a 1/4 inch. I use the 1/4 inch, so it'll just lay. Well, duh, I can just show you. Like that. This part up here stops it from just shifting under like these ones do. It just will go under like that. So I'm gonna switch those spacers out with these, and then I'll get started installing the flooring again. Alright, so this last row that I just did, I thought I had measured the starting piece right at 2 feet, So that would leave me with a pretty long piece at this end, but I'm stuck with 2 inches. Obviously I'm not going to have a plank that's 2 inches long, so I'm going to have to undo this whole row. The width of the plank is too wide for the space I need here. Not by much, maybe by like a 1/4 inch. So I took my jigsaw and I made a cut right there. I don't know, you can kind of see it's a little shorter right here.